Hello Oracles! Well, it is time for the weekly recap for Tesla stock this past week. We have seen a nice run up in the stock. We have seen a great outperformance by the stock against all of the indices. We have gotten a whole bunch of upgrades coming out from analysts, news about batteries and the machinery that's going on, some rumors that are getting debunked, and some news about Tesla Canada. All sorts of great information coming out. So I did try to do my share screen videos, did not like the way it came out whatsoever, and it didn't flow well, so I'm going to continue practicing to work on it for you guys. First up though, I want to mention and welcome our newest member to the membership program, Dave Black. I appreciate your support. Welcome to the channel as a member as well. If you guys would like to join the channel as a member, you can do so in the link down in the pinned comment below. Lots of cool perks down in there, and I'm going to continue to add more as well over time. So getting into the news, the stock itself finished over $300 for the week. That was great news. We've got the FOMC meeting coming up this week. This is what could make that big move in one way or the other. Again, market manipulators are going to play whatever people think is going to happen and do the opposite. We're going to see what happens. Nobody truly knows what's going to go on, but we are expecting a 75 basis point hike coming out of the FOMC meeting, and we might even get a 100 basis point hike. I think if we do get a 100 basis point hike, that is going to tank the market. That is what is going to bring us down and potentially fill those gaps at 247 and 258 for Tesla. We shall see how it goes, but otherwise we've been holding up very strong, very pleased with Tesla's performance. So some of the news that we had gotten this week was Martin Viecha discussing how for the first time in his career with Tesla, they have enough batteries to be able to supply both the EV side of the business and the energy side of the business. This has never been done before as far as he knows. So this is great news because we know that they were battery constrained over the last couple of years, and they focused all their batteries on the EV side of the business, and the energy side of the business just, kind of scraped on by with what they could. Now, both sides of the business can thrive. Other information we got out about batteries were some rumors earlier in the week about how over in Germany they have indefinitely suspended the further construction and expansion of Giga Berlin, and they were going to take the battery machinery and move it over to the US to be able to take advantage of the battery tax credits over here, which did make a lot of sense, and I agreed with that, especially if the 4680 ramp was going slower than expected and they wanted to focus on the Cybertruck and the Semi. Well, turns out end of the week we got that rumor was debunked, and they're actually going to be increasing productivity out of both factories. So looking like they're going to be keeping the 4680s going on in Berlin, and they're going to be ramping faster than expected. Same will be holding for Austin. So perhaps that was what Martin was leaning towards when he was saying that they finally have enough battery cells to produce and supply both sides of their business. Maybe that's what he meant, because they are actually ramping up faster than expected. So putting all these pieces together, sounds like the battery piece of the business is doing extremely well. And again, we're going to start focusing on energy towards the end of the year, because that is going to be the next massive S-curve that comes up. And in sticking with batteries, we had gotten a report also that Tesla had landed themselves a contract with the US Department of Defense for batteries. And I'm reading one article says 7.7 million, another article says 7.7 billion. Huge difference. I don't know if, a 3-year $7.7 million contract is even something to really talk about. $7.7 billion is. I'm going to get some more information on this and more clarification, but either way they have landed a nice battery contract with the US Department of Defense. And now when it comes to the batteries, we know that any battery supplier that is supplying batteries to someone else and not being themselves means that they can get a tax credit on those also. So it seems like they're going to be getting a nice tax credit and sale with the US Department of Defense. And with all of this, we saw some analyst upgrades and initiations coming out. So Brad Gerstner over at Altimeter came out with a buy rating, saying that back in 2019, he wasn't a huge fan of Tesla because they were potentially going bankrupt. Things changed significantly over the last 2 years. He is on board with a buy rating, saying that Tesla is going to take the majority of profits over the next decade. We also had Needham coming out, who's usually had a bearish stance on Tesla, with an underperform rating, upgraded them to a hold rating, and that is significant when you see more and more bears going from an underperform or a sell rating to a hold rating or even a buy rating. That's a big deal. And then we also had Deutsche Bank coming out and increasing their price target from $375 to $400. We also had Arne Aslan coming out saying that buying Tesla now is like buying Apple back in 2007 or 2003 or earlier. So huge news coming out, a lot of people looking very bullish on long-term for Tesla. And we also got news that the Canadian Prime Minister visited Tesla over in Fremont to discuss, we're not sure what, but with all the rumors going around about Giga Canada potentially coming, this just leads me to believe that maybe, and this is just my mind thinking, he was over there at Fremont to see how the things work, see how Fremont runs. checking things out, having some discussions about, hey, do we want to have this gigafactory up in Canada? So seems like we are really moving in that direction. So I have a feeling we may be getting an announcement about a Giga Canada very soon. We also had Ford coming out this week and giving their dealerships until the end of October to make a decision if they wanted to be an EV dealership or not. And if they are going to choose to become an EV dealership, they are going to have to invest $1 to $1.2 million into the EV charging infrastructure needed for their dealership. So they have until October 31st. We shall see which ones decide to go with this and which ones do not. Now, they also said that these dealerships are no longer allowed to have haggling prices. They are going to have to say, hey, Ford is setting these prices, you are going to deal with whatever the prices are there, no haggle, and it's basically like Tesla does it with a direct sales, but they're going to have a dealership in between. And when it comes to the macro, the FOMC meeting is coming up this week. Last week we had the CPI data came out, we had anticipations and expectations of 8.1%, we came in with a miss of 8.3%, so inflation is still higher than expected. We had the PPI come in the day later with an 8.7% with expectations of 8.8%. So the PPI beat. So the market crashed and NASDAQ came down over 5% when we got the CPI data. Tesla was down 4%. The next day, that completely reversed for Tesla. The market came back a little bit, but not like Tesla did. PPI caused Tesla to come back up and close back over $300. We saw that battle go on for $300 and they closed over it at the end of the week. So this week we really pay attention to the FOMC meeting, see if there's anything that transpires with the Twitter deal, and otherwise that is really it for this week. We'll pay attention to all of the news. I'll jump on the charts this week because of the fact that, I wasn't able to figure out how to do the share screens with you guys in a very good and coherent manner. I will do a couple of live streams this week. I am going away later this week. I'll still get videos out to you guys. And if you guys are up in the Vermont Stratton area for the OCR World Championships, by all means stop by and say hi. I will be up there supporting a friend up there running those races. Otherwise, I will do a couple of live streams to be able to get these share screens out to you guys because I really want to be able to provide that for you. Otherwise, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think we are going to be getting for a rate hike this week coming out of the Fed? Do you think they're going to go with a 75 or a 100 basis point hike? And how do you think the market is going to react to either one? Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. Again, we do have the membership program. That link is down in the pinned comment. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.